What's going on YouTube, Ferocity? I hope you guys are doing well. Today I want to explore the disconnect between the community's expectations for XDefiant and the reality that the developers live in. Because unfortunately, we have been conditioned to always feel as if the developers are working against us because there's not a ton of communication. But with XDefiant, it's much different. The communication and transparency is much more frequent. And it's a nice breath of fresh air considering the fact that industry standard nowadays is to keep your community in the dark with a lot of things and not really talk openly with them. And that's why I've commended Mark Rubin so many times, and we're going to discuss him again here shortly, because he's actually going above and beyond what most developers do. He's being honest with the community, he's being transparent with them, and he's setting expectations. Sure, the community wishes the expectations were a little bit higher, but unfortunately, developers have to live within a reality that I don't really know if the community fully understands. And that's highlighted by this interaction between Mark Rubin and a member of the XDefiant community over on Twitter. Dr. Disciple says, "Why can't we just have a good shooter? I was so hopeful for XDefiant, but it's just not it. Nobody wants a shooter with kangaroos and bunny rabbits. What happened to just gunfights and reaction time? Everyone always exploits and ruins it, and the devs do nothing." At Pixels of Mark. Mark Rubin replies in kind, "What are you smoking? We said we are fixing. You think there is some magic button that just instantly changes everything in a matter of minutes? We have to make the changes, then we have to test the patch, which takes 3 days. Then it has to be scheduled for platform testing. Takes time." I love this response from Mark Rubin, because not only does he set the expectation, he's also transparent about the process that the developers go through to bring a patch live. There's a lot more work than what we expect. Of course, we never get this type of transparency or communication from other games, Call of Duty, but at least we have it here with XDefiant. And again, this is an area where I think XDefiant has a competitive advantage over some of the competition because someone like Mark Rubin is constantly talking to the community. And even if Dr. Disciple didn't like this answer, I do. And I think many other people appreciate it. Because Mark Rubin followed up this tweet by also letting us know that the next big patch that's coming up this week is going to fix the bunny hopping and kangaroo jumping, going to address netcode and hit rag issues, add sniper flinch, and the game is going to massively transform as a result. He's able to set expectations, and we're able to see what the developers are working on behind the scenes. Not just guess or assume that they're working on some crazy new skin or doing nothing, as Dr. Disciple would say. It's nice to see that there's somebody out there that actually cares about what the community gets to know. Because I never would have known. Now, obviously, I wasn't stupid enough to think that there was a magic button they hit, but I didn't know there was so much process that they have to go through to bring a patch live. This is multiple days. This is probably over 2 weeks to get a patch to where it needs to be able to present to the community. They can't just flip a switch. I'm sure a lot of developers wish they could. They could just sit there, flip a switch, and boom, bunny hopping changes. Boom, sniper flinch is added. But there's so many different things that go into game developing that I don't think a lot of the general public or general community understands. So as a result, our expectations are all wonky. But by being transparent and honest and open, we're able to see how the process works, and hey, we can adjust our expectations accordingly. And this is what I don't understand about modern day gaming, about this industry as a whole. Why isn't it that every single big game doesn't have one dedicated developer that talks to the community, a community manager? They used to have it with Call of Duty. That's how everybody knew who Robert Bowling was. That's how everybody knew who David Vonderhaar was. But those roles have been eliminated over at Activision. I don't even know who the main developer is anymore. And it's kind of frustrating because it'd be nice if somebody would talk to the community. And I get it. Robert Bowling's life was kind of crappy because he had to deal with a ton of hate comments. And I get that. David Vonderhaar didn't really care, it seemed. And of course, you had Michael Condrey, who would just say things in hubris and expect the entire community to take it in kind, when in reality, it was just a man talking through his ego, and that was frustrating from a community perspective. But it seems as if these companies and these development teams are more concerned about protecting their own than talking to their community, because they're afraid of some hate comments. They're afraid of whatever is going to happen on social media. Here's the thing, guys. It's just words. They can't hurt you. They can't come through the screen and inflict any type of real damage to you. If I've learned anything on my time here on YouTube, is words mean nothing. You can say the meanest thing to me in the world, and honestly, I'll read it, probably laugh it off, and move on. You grow a pretty thick skin once you start being a part of the internet almost every single day. And that's what it'd be nice to have. It'd be nice to have somebody that was in tune with every community and being able to communicate with them. Because while yes, you can have some hate comments, you'll also have some people embrace what you're saying. And it will just help mitigate some of the issues that are present in modern day games. This feeling of isolation from the development teams are just unnecessary. I mean, I talked about it back during Modern Warfare 3's reveal, how it was nice that they were trying to build a bridge between the community and the developer. And then they completely just stopped construction on that bridge and decided to never talk to us again. And it felt empty. It felt disappointing because I was hoping that Sledgehammer Games was going to be a little bit more active, be a little bit more transparent. And that's just not what they've been. And with XDefiant, we have somebody who's the face of this game now. Somebody who we know is going to address this community in a timely fashion. He's not going to hide away from criticism. He's not going to sit there and pretend that this game is better than it is. He doesn't have that ego. Instead, he's honest, truthful, and upfront with what's going on. I really wish this became industry standard, because we deserve it as consumers. With video games becoming more and more expensive, with microtransactions turning into macro transactions, it feels as if developers should put somebody as the face of their game to uphold the standard, create transparency, but also absorb some of the criticism. Because during those days of Call of Duty, when you could hurl criticism over at Robert Bowling, over at David Vondahar, over at Michael Condrey, I'm not saying times were better, but at least you could funnel it somewhere and hope they would get through. Who do you contact in modern day Call of Duty? Who do you contact with CSGO? Who do you contact with Valorant? And say, hey, there is key issues with this game. I mean, Dr. Disciple could say this about almost any other shooter on the market, and no other developer is going to take him seriously, reply to him, let alone give him the whole process on how it works. Mark Rubin just gave him a lesson in game development, and he didn't even pay for it. It was just free there on Twitter for him. This is the difference. This is the competitive advantage that XDefiant has. And this is why I truly believe this game is going to stand the test of time. Because we have a development team that actually is trying to set a standard for their community. Something we have not seen in forever. And it's nice to have. But that's it for the video today. That's what I wanted to highlight. I'm sorry if you're the Dr. Disciple and you come across this video. I'm not trying to spread any hate to you. I just wanted to use your tweet as an example of what XDefiant is doing differently than other games on the market. And if Mark Rubin somehow comes across this video, honestly, I just have nothing but respect for you. Keep it up, and this community will continue to support you. But that's it for the video today. Would love to hear your thoughts on it down below in that comment section. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time.